Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today I want to talk about the government selling off 51,000 Bitcoins. Why are they doing this? Should you be concerned? Will Bitcoin dump? Let's talk about all these things and more. So this came out yesterday and I know a lot of people are talking about it. What's going on with this 51,000 Bitcoin? Not dollars, 51,000 Bitcoin. Well, it's all connected to Silk Road. So when Silk Road closed down, the US government took in a ton of Bitcoins. So according to reports, the government already sold roughly around 10,000 Bitcoins for $250 million, and this was back in March of 2014. And if you're curious, I was looking at, what happened in March 14th? Well, you look at here, that's March 14th. So it looked like we had a little bit of spike, then came back down. So we hit 26,000, went back to 24.2, and then boom, the market reacted by going upwards. So did a 10,000 Bitcoin sell really affect Bitcoin? The answer is no. And I'm glad to hear that the government is not selling off all at the same time. Now, if they decide to sell off 51,000 all at the same time, maybe Bitcoin would have been affected more. But according to this, they plan on selling off in phases. So later on this year, they'll probably sell off another 10,000, another 10,000, another 10,000, something like that. So right now they have 41,000 Bitcoins left. So it's kind of surprising that they are doing this. I thought maybe they would want to dump it all to kind of cause more FUD around Bitcoin, but they decided that they will be spreading it out. So roughly they had 51,000 Bitcoins to begin with. Now they have 41,000 Bitcoin left over. So that is the reason why they are selling, because basically they've been holding on to this for quite some time and they feel like this is just the time to sell it. And should we be afraid? The answer is no, because they already sold off 10,000 and they plan on selling the remaining 41,000 in phases. So the market will just eat this up right now. But I like to remind you guys this. If you're still on the fence whether or not Bitcoin is the way versus keeping your money in a bank that's controlled by the government, well, just look at this. What is a Ponzi? What's not a Ponzi? If you have money stored in a bank, okay, this is what's happening right now. Your money is being inflated and devalued because there's an unlimited supply. There's more and more being printed every single year. Know that your money is not backed by anything, meaning that it's not backed by gold. It's not really backed by anything other than trust of the US government. And your money is centrally controlled, meaning that banks can shut you out, can seize your money, and these are properties that are not good, versus Bitcoin, which has fixed supply. That's very important. There will be no more than 21 million ever. It's backed by energy, but I would also argue it's backed by the largest decentralized network on the planet, and also the most secure network on the planet. So it's not just by energy from the miners, but also this network. I mean, you can't create that network even if you wanted to today. And because of it, no one can centrally control it, meaning no one person or entity or bank can ever take your Bitcoin away, right? So I like to remind you guys the difference between what is actually a Ponzi and what's not a Ponzi, okay? And then, you know what, moving forward, we had one of the biggest options and futures expiration. We had it close yesterday. Really didn't affect the price much, but one thing to note is Bitcoin is up 70% in Q1, okay, while everything else is down. So think about that. Bitcoin is definitely rallying up from its bottom, continuing forward, and many great things are about to come. And even from a technology standpoint, look at this. El Salvador removes all taxes related to tech innovation, mainly for Bitcoin innovation, Okay, so there are countries that are giving a lot of benefits to entrepreneurs and tech innovators. Belarus also said the same thing. Basically, either you're not paying taxes, you get huge tax benefits, and we're seeing it in the States too. If you're a Bitcoin miner, you go get benefits for mining in Texas, for example, and other states want to come up with the same kind of breaks for Bitcoin miners as well. So you're going to see a whole bunch of new projects come into this space that are, of course, looking to take advantage of these benefits, but ultimately it's just going to help the space even more. It's going to help Bitcoin, it's going to help crypto, it's going to help the entire space. Now, as for Bitcoin's current trajectory, the momentum is definitely real. This is looking at Bitcoin versus the 200 weekly moving average and also the realized price. And you can see that Bitcoin has broken above both of them, which is very positive. In the past, when we have been recovering from bottom, you can see like right here and right here, right? What happened afterwards? This and then this, right? And now, look at where we are. So that is what to expect. The momentum is definitely real. And also where we are stuck right now, this is about 28.5, 28.6. I mentioned how important it is. This is why it's important. Look at it. This was a major support before, okay? Going up from 28 all the way to 64, down to 28, up to 69, and down over here, and then we had all the crypto companies collapse, right? But now we're pressing against it. If we break through this, I mean, just look at where Bitcoin could head. 30,000, 40,000, 50, 60. I mean, this is what we have to look forward to. Pretty good if you ask me. Now, a couple other crypto news today. I saw this. Huobi partners with Gala Games for L1 and L3 development. I am a big fan of Gala Games, probably the biggest gaming platform in the crypto space right now. Not a big fan of Huobi because it's now owned by Tron and Justin Sun. But overall, I do think Gala is in a really good position to get back to their previous high. They have come out with more and more games, and games are going to get hot. They are going to get hot. So I do think that Gala, with more partnerships like this, is definitely beneficial. And I also saw this, how they are going to release another game called Echoes of Empire later this year. And the graphics of this actually look quite amazing if this plays. Maybe it won't play. Okay, my internet is not working, so I can't play that. But it looks like a really good sci-fi game. I mean, this shows you the type of momentum Gala has. They just keep coming out with more and more games, and they all look spectacular. So good for Gala. I also saw this. Speaking of games, Yuga Labs finally have allowed people to test their metaverse game. The other side, they sold a lot of NFTs and NFT holders were able to play it. But I mean, I was looking at graphics like this. That looks amazing. Amazing. This is like on par with World of Warcraft. And, you know, if you guys want to check it out, my internet's not really working. But if you're looking through here, I mean, the gameplay looks exactly the same type of feel, MMORPG game. And I can't wait for this to come out. And hopefully those NFTs that they pre-sold will be worth something. And then lastly, I did see this also. I don't know how many people are using Bittrex still. They were Binance before Binance was around, but they decided they will be shutting down U.S. operations because of regulatory concerns. Not that they're going under or anything. You could you could still log in and withdraw, no problems there. But they don't want to deal with Gensler and the SEC and everything else that's happening. So that is the reason why. All right, guys, Bitcoin is at 28.4, still hugging that support line or resistance line, right? Looking to break, but overall, stay strong, my friends. I will be heading back home, so you will see me at my usual setup pretty soon. But don't be afraid of the government selling off 41,000 Bitcoins. It's not going to do anything.